Dr. Jill Biden, First Lady of the United States from 2021 to 2025. This morning, in her first interview since leaving the White House 16 months ago, she's looking back with our Rita Braver.
So is it a big change? You know, you're in the White House and you're living kind of a quiet life in Delaware?
Well, it's not exactly a quiet life. I mean, we're still doing a lot of things, writing, traveling, speaking, but then we come home and this is our peaceful place. Let's put it that way.
But there has not been a lot of peace for the Bidens. Just 4 months after leaving office, President Biden was diagnosed with an aggressive form of stage 4 prostate cancer that had traveled to his bones.
Yes.
How's the president doing now?
He's doing well, but it was a shock. I mean, Rita, honestly, I can remember getting the diagnosis, and it was shocking.
Do you think that someone, when he was in the White House, should have discovered it, given him a test?
Well, you know, the doctor said that according to the American Urological Association, that men over 70 don't need a PSA, a blood test anymore, because it's a slow-growing cancer. I have to say, Rita, I do feel we had amazing care in the White House, but somehow that was missed.
So you're a little bit tense when it comes to his health, huh?
I don't know if the word is tense, but I think I'm vigilant.
But there is another essential question that many Americans have about President Biden's mental health when he was in the White House. Did you ever see signs that he was falling into cognitive decline?
No.
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 Truly?
No.
I mean, I have spoken to many people who saw the president, especially during the last 2 years of his term, and they said they thought he was slipping.
Oh, he was definitely aging. I mean, we were all aging, Rita. I mean, so yes, he was slowing down.
I mean, people were saying he wasn't the same Joe Biden.
Well, I don't think that's true. He was the essence of the same Joe Biden, but yeah, he was slowing down. He was getting older. I mean, we all observed that. When you know, it's a very intense job. I think it ages you quickly. I mean, look at the other presidents. I mean, look, in comparison when they started in office and got out of office, and it was natural aging.
From the start of the administration even, some polls were showing that many Americans were questioning the president's mental fitness. I asked you about it when I interviewed you, and you said there's nothing to it.
And I still say that.
And now, Dr. Jill Biden has written a book about her time in the White House. It's called View from the East Wing, a place where generations of First Ladies had their offices and where visitors came for White House tours. It has now been destroyed by President Donald Trump to make way for a ballroom. So what do you think about that?
What do you think I think?
You said, I felt a sense of loss and grief with every blow of the wrecking ball.
That's right. I mean, there was so much really institutional memory in that building. I loved the East Wing.
Did you ever think of changing the title after the East Wing was destroyed?
No. Then I thought, this is the perfect title for my book.
I noticed that in the book, you don't mention President Trump's name except for one time. You call him my husband's predecessor or my husband's successor. I have to think that was done on purpose.
Well, why would I talk about him when I'm writing about Joe's administration?
It was an administration that was put in jeopardy when election deniers stormed the Capitol in a failed attempt to stop Congress from certifying President Biden's election.
It was horrible. It was, I mean, we couldn't believe what we were seeing on television.
What goes through your mind now when you see the rioters being pardoned by President Trump?
I don't think it's right.
But from Inauguration Day on, Jill Biden set out to make the most of her time as First Lady, the first to hold a regular job outside the White House, teaching at a community college.
And I can remember in a meeting when they said, well, you're not thinking of continuing to teach. And I said, yes, I am. It's always been my passion. I love my students, and I so honor teachers.
In fact, she cites a favorite state dinner as one honoring teachers. And she also traveled the country on behalf of her husband's administration, for example, urging people to get COVID vaccinations.
I think most Americans try to forget that chapter of America's life because it was so hard to live through a pandemic. But Joe came in and he picked up the pieces and he made sure that shots got in the arms and the vaccine got in the arms and that schools reopened.
There were also lots of foreign trips, including going back and forth to France for D-Day commemorations during son Hunter's trial on federal gun charges linked to his drug use.
Even though I had a really busy schedule, I did what any other parent would do, and that is support their child.
After Hunter Biden was convicted on all 3 counts, the president had a decision to make.
President Biden had said that he would never pardon his son.
He did.
And then he pardoned him. Did you urge the president to think again about that?
Well, Joe said in the beginning, I won't pardon Hunter, I won't pardon Hunter. And then...
and did you say,
and then
don't
the
say that?
Justice Department changed. And I think that the process was not fair to Hunter. But then when Trump was elected, things changed. And we knew that he would target Hunter. And we just could not let our son go to jail on a charge that no one would go, no one has ever gone to jail for.
Did you urge the president to pardon
Oh,
Hunter?
gosh. I truly supported it. I wanted him to pardon Hunter at that point. And I agreed with Joe.
President Biden, for the first time in history, also preemptively pardoned other members of your family. Why did he decide to do that?
I suppose for the same reason that he felt that they would be targeted.
Because you felt that the Trump Justice Department would target them, or the Trump administration would target them. Are you worried in publishing this book that the Trump administration will come after you and your family because you've just, spoken out so much?
Am I worried about it?
Yes.
No, but they can, look, Joe's attacked every day. There's by negative things that are said by this administration. So I don't think it's going to change.
But you're not worried that this is going to, precipitate an attack on your family?
I hope not.
In America, everything is possible. We believe every and anything is possible.
Jill Biden proudly touts her husband's accomplishments.
He got legislation done. He created more jobs in his 4-year term than any other president. Look at all he did. Look at the infrastructure bill and, the American Rescue Plan.
But when she arrived at the first presidential debate of 2024, she saw that President Biden wasn't feeling well.
But then Joe always, even if he was off a little bit, he'd always rally. And I thought, okay, so he'll get in there in that debate and he'll be fine. He's going to rally. But he got in there, he got into the debate, and he didn't.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Were you horrified as you saw it unfold?
I wasn't horrified, I was frightened, because I had never, ever seen Joe like that before or since. Never.
Or since?
Yes, or
You've
since.
never seen him like
Never.
that?
No.
What
I didn't
happened?
know. I don't know what happened. I mean, as I watched it, I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke. And it scared me to death. And then he never seemed to
Find himself after
find
that,
himself,
right?
yeah, after that. But then, Rita, I have to tell you, as we were walking out, you know, he said, I really, and I'm not going to use the words because it's morning TV, but I really sort of messed up, didn't I? And I said, yes, you did. And we left the stage area, and what people don't know, he had 2 events after that. And he was fine. I mean, he was fine. It was inexplicable.
But what if that had happened during a meeting with foreign leaders or something like that?
I don't know how to answer that.
But she and the rest of the Biden family thought he should keep running, despite increasing calls for him to step aside.
He was still doing a great job as president. He was still doing the work every single day.
And you say when people couldn't convince Joe to quit, they began lobbying you.
Well, yes, yeah, they did. That I should step in.
But you believed he was fit to serve.
Yes.
And when he was considering not running, you said, I don't want you to have my opinion.
That's right.
Why did you say that?
It couldn't be me. It had to be his decision, whether he stayed in or got out. He had to live with that the rest of his life. It had to be his decision alone. And it was.
What was going through your mind at that time?
It was so hurtful to see many of the people that we really thought were behind Joe to come out and attack him. And you know, when you love somebody,
Any
Rita,
specific names that you want to mention?
no, I'm not going to give any specific names. Like, what's the point of that? It's done. It's over. I mean, when you love somebody and you see people attacking them, I mean, it's hard.
And so, believing that he had lost the backing of the Democratic Party, Joe Biden dropped out of the presidential race.
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
And do you remember what he said to you?
Yeah, he said, Jilly, I had no choice. That's what his nickname is for me.
And how did you feel at that point?
Heartbroken.
And even today, she still thinks her husband would have made a good president if he had stayed in the race.
Of course he would have made a good president. He made a good president the 4 years he was there. I mean, to me, he was the best president.
Do you think you could be blinded by love?
Of course I could be blinded by love. I hope that I am blinded by love. But that's what, you know, people say, what a great president he was. You know, he was kind, he was empathetic, he was strong, he was steady. He did things for the good of American people. And, I mean, he was a leader on the world stage. And I think that'll be Joe's legacy.